Hey, thanks for joining us on Wednesday. We do our Wednesday wrap up, just a kind of reminder of what we talked about on Sunday night, so that if you missed it, maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're not able to come right now because of COVID or whatever the case. Maybe your parents aren't comfortable, maybe you're not comfortable being around that many people. So we're glad that you're here and joined us on Wednesday for just a quick wrap up and a reminder of kind of what we talked about. We've been doing the Beatitudes, and Jesus went up on a mountainside and began to teach the people, and this is kind of how he began his teaching. And so, if this is what he started with, it's probably pretty important stuff. And let's look at it from Scripture. It's in Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 8, and it says this. Now, when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him and he began to teach them. He said, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. And just as a reminder, and we do this every week that we've been talking about the Beatitudes, blessed means happy. And it's not just a happy as in things are going my way and I'm smiling happy, or I'm having a good hair day, or in my case, a good beard day, um, but a but a sense that there's something about your life that when people look at you, they say, "Man, I wish my life was like that." There's this little bit of an envy and desire to be like that. And so that's really what blessed means. And it's something that God can give us and do for us. And when these big things begin to happen in our lives and we demonstrate these traits, we are that way. We are blessed. So let's look at this week. This week we talked about blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. So let's look at some of the words. Pure means clean, and a clean kind of there's not it's not contaminated. It doesn't have gunk on it. As a matter of fact, I told a story about getting paint all over me and how people thought I had the measles and I had little dots of red paint all over me. And getting clean was not necessarily an easy thing, and people noticed that I wasn't clean. They thought I had the measles. So we need to have purity or cleanness. The other thing we talked about was that word heart, pure in heart, and it's one of those hearts. And when we think of heart, we think of primarily feelings. But back then, when they thought heart, they meant more than that. It also talked about uh, how you thought, or your not just your feelings, but also your thoughts and what kind of your mind. So it could be clean mind. Blessed are those with a clean mind. Um, so how do we do that? How do we keep um, our our heart pure, our mind pure, our heart clean, our mind pure? And so we just did a couple things. We talked about avoid the junk, and which means be careful what you put into your heart and your mind. Be careful the things that you're taking in, that they're positive and they're not junk. And we talked about I gave you an example of a student in the ministry who changed his music listening styles because it was impacting how he thought and then how he behaved. The other thing we talked about is to add treasure, and add the things that are good, add the things that are positive, like scripture and worship songs, Christian, all those kind of things. Add those things. Um, the last part was seeing God. And what does that mean? And we talked about the definition a little bit. And one of the interesting things is in Hebrew, when we talk about seeing something, we're talking about perceiving it and actually experiencing it. So, so if we want to see and experience God, what we need to do is work on keeping our heart and mind pure so that we can see and perceive Him and notice Him and experience Him. So I want to encourage you to keep pure because of that. So, and the challenge this week was this, or the question really to ask ourselves this week: Are we keeping pure? Are we adding treasure and avoiding junk? Are we experiencing God? Because if we're keeping pure, we're experiencing God. So hey, that was what we talked about this past week. Let me I'll remind you that the challenge this week is not really a challenge. It's this. I want to know what challenges you want us to do. So take this week, shoot me a text, send me an email, and say, hey, I think a cool challenge for us to do would be whatever. So let me know what you think an awesome challenge would be, and we'll have another challenge for you next week. Hey, hope you have a great week. We'll catch you later. Bye.